we are starting our farm today, and we came very early with the farmers that are going to be tilling the soil. And yeah, let me show you what my farm looks like. But here I'll be doing like mixed cropping. I'm going to grow corn, cassava, beans, and some vegetables. Yeah.
Right now, if I should ask 10 or 5 people over here who are youth from Africa, and I ask them, what is your next plan? Their next plan is to tell you that I want to go and study abroad. Some will even tell you if you can even get someone to actually help me to start working abroad. Everybody wants to leave Africa abroad. Why is this thing happening? Well, I can tell because myself, I want to leave this and go abroad because they always tell us that their money is better than us. Everything they do over there is better than us. We have this mindset that whatever thing that is white is better and then is good than what we have in Africa. Everything that they consume is better than what we consume over here. Although everything in our land is very natural, but then we still want the artificial world. Why? Is it because of the government? Is it because there are no job in the country? Or is it because people think when you go abroad or when you go out, you are kind of elevated? You have this high esteem. Anyway, I can't talk about this alone. Anyway, if you ask me if I want to go abroad, yes, I really want to go. But then after listening to this story of this young woman, I mean, everything about this mindset of mine has begun to change. And I would like you guys to also listen to this interview with me. I have with me a young lady by the name Crystal. Crystal is a YouTuber based in Togo. Actually, she's a Cameroon, but then she's got married to a Togolese and now she's fully in Togo. She's a YouTuber in Togo and she has recently started her farming in Togo. And what actually amazed me is that she was so open to actually share a story about how she was maltreated as a servant in Lebanon. She actually sold everything she had to go to Lebanon in order for her to make some money. And guess what? Anyway, I'll let you listen to the story by yourself. I don't want to give you all the gist, otherwise it'll be like I'm spoon feeding you guys. So let's go right into this video. Guys, watch this video to the end and let's check. Do we still want to go to this country? I mean, do we still want to go? If you still want to go, then after this interview, we are going to know.
Today I'm going to be sharing my experience with you guys, what I went through in Lebanon. It was complete hell. It's a horror story, people. Like one of the worst experiences I ever had in my life. So it all started in 2014. I left school and I did not go to the university that year. I left high school in 2013 up to 2014. I did not go to the university, so I was home idling, and a friend of mine came to me and told me about the opportunity to go to Lebanon and work. I was like, whoa. And the salary was like 100,000 francs. I was like, this was awesome. So I went to the agency. The agent told me I had to bring the sum of 150,000 for passport, and I foolishly gave him the money. And after 3 weeks I got my passport, and in less than 2 days I had a visa. Like in less than 2 days. You know, when they are doing this child trafficking thing, they make sure they do it swift, in such a way you will not have the time to think twice or maybe change your mind. They do it so fast so that you know, you just go and maybe realize yourself over there. So in less than 2 days I got a visa, and the following day I got a flight ticket. It was so swift. I did not know what was going on, but like it was the quickest thing I've ever seen. So my family escorted me to Douala, and boom, I traveled. And it all started in the airport there in Lebanon. Like our passports were confiscated from us. We were like 300 in numbers. There were girls from other countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, and the majority was from Ethiopia. So we're like 300 in number. So we were taken to one single room there in the airport, and we had like 4 benches to sit on. we could not sit on the benches, like we had just 4 of them, so we ended up sitting on the floor for hours. We arrived like 4 a.m. and our bosses ended up picking up us in the airport at, let's say, 1 p.m 2 p.m, and it was, yeah, with all the hunger, people were hungry and we had nothing to do, like we were helpless. So mine came and picked me up at 1, so we went home. And guys, I did not even get into the house. Like, just at the door, this dislocated my luggages. Like, they started searching through every single thing I had. Like, they were searching my pockets, my pants, my bra, like everything. They had to search through everything, and I don't know if they were thinking I brought the bomb or something to kill them or something, I don't know. So they had to search through everything. And after that, I was taken inside and I was asked to wash everything I brought. You know, they feel like we Africans are very dirty people or what, I don't know. So I was asked to wash everything I brought in order to kill any bacteria or germs I might have brought from Africa, I don't know. So I was asked to wash everything, and I washed everything from A to Z. So that wasn't it. I was given rules and regulations. I wasn't allowed to wear any of my clothes. Can you imagine? Like, I was not allowed to wear any of my clothes, and I was not allowed to use a cell phone. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine that you are going to stay for 3 years without the phone? Like, you are not even allowed to call your family members, nothing. I was like, okay, I'm already here, what can I do? I just have to follow the rules. So they brought me these uniforms, these working uniforms, what I had to wear on daily basis to work. Like, I had to wear just these uniforms and maybe a pyjama in the night to sleep. So I was d'accord and I was doing the work. It wasn't easy. Like, the house was super large. It was a very large house with uncountable rooms and toilets, large parlors, large balconies, large, everything was super large. It was a villa, I don't know, like, it was so big, and I was to clean this home every single day. Me, growing up, I used to work a lot in the farm, and I never had a single crack on my hand nor my foot. But in this house, I ended up having cracks all over my hand, all over my legs, like, because I was always touching water. My feet were always in water, so I ended up with so many cracks, and these cracks were so painful. Like, each time you trample, like each time you walk on water or you do anything with water, you feel a lot of pains with your hands and your feet, and it wasn't an easy experience though. So I endured for 6 months. I was there crying day and night. I never had a phone. Like, you could not even call your family to tell them what was going on. They were like, what happened to our daughter? They never knew anything. They never knew what was going on with me. So I was just there. Some of them thought I was dead or something, I don't know. So I was there for 6 months, and after 6 months, you know, when I first of all got there, they were like, we are not going to pay your salary. We are not going to be paying your salary every month. We'll be paying you after 6 months. So I accepted. So after 6 months, they paid. I was like, I wanted a cell phone. Like, I wanted a cell phone. If I don't get a phone, I was not going to. So I told them, if I don't get a phone, I was not going to work for them. So I had to leave. Like, sorry guys, I don't know what's happening to me. Okay, so they accepted, because I told them I was going to leave though. Like, I had to hang like on their neck. I told them I was going to leave, that if I don't get a phone, I'm going to leave. And besides, I was the one, like, I had to buy the phone myself. It's not like they were going to buy it for me. So finally, in 2 weeks, I got a phone, and this phone had conditions. I bought the phone myself, and I was recharging the phone. Like, the condition of this phone was, I was not allowed to use Wi-Fi, and I was allowed to use this phone 2 hours per day. Like, who does that? I bought the phone, and guess what? I'm the one recharging this phone, and they were like, I'm supposed to use it 2 hours per day. I was like, anyways, I don't really need it because I'm always working, and for these 2 hours you will not be able to use the phone because you are always on errand. They are always calling for you, asking you to do coffee, asking you to do salads, asking you to do this. So within the 2 hours, you will not even have the time. And when 2 hours 2 hours expires, they are like, give us the phone. I was like, oh my god, these people are the meanest I've ever seen. So I accepted. I had nobody to help me, so I had to accept. And can you imagine how arrogant their children can be? There were times I'll be asked to clean the whole house, and let's say you were cleaning in one of the rooms and you mistakenly misplaced some of the items. Let's say you changed the position. You know, a girl of 13, she will be like, hey Christy, when next you are cleaning my room, you have to mind the way you place my stuffs. Like, you have to put them in the same position. And she will call you to her room, like you have to follow her and rearrange everything. Yeah, it was that bad. Like, after all the tiredness, after everything you've been going through, you have to deal with them. You have to deal with them. So I was enduring. At the back of my mind, I was like, I'm fighting for my future. I can endure. So, and mind you, if you are cleaning and anything gets broken, you are going to pay for it. Like, they are going to deduct it from your salary. So one day I was cleaning in one of their large salons. She was like, be very careful with these items because your salary in 3 years cannot buy any. So if you break them, guess what? You will stay here all your life working for it. I was like, wow. Can you imagine? Wow. So I stayed there for the next 6 months. They paid me for the first 6 months. So the following 6 months, like, I started asking for my salary. They were like, we were going to pay you when you are going to your country. So you are going to stay here for the next 3 years without any salary, and when you are off to your country, that's when we are going to pay you. I was like, I have a lot of family issues. I have family problems that I need to solve. So I need this money, like right now. I need this money to send to my family. And if you guys are not going to give me this money, then count me out. I'm not working for you guys. I'm not going to work. I told my family about it. They were like, don't work for them. If they don't want to pay you the money, then you don't have to work. Just stay quiet. Don't talk to them. Don't do anything for them until you are paid your 6 month salary. And my salary was $200 per month, and times 6, that's $1,200, roughly 700,000 francs. And they were playing around with this money. So they were like, they were to pay me after 3 years when I'm going home. Just imagine living with these people for 3 good years, and it's finally time to go home, and they are like, they are not giving you any money. What will you do? Like, what I was facing, it was 6 months, like 6 good months of hard work. So I told them I wasn't going to do it. I told my family about it. They were like, don't do it, just stay, don't talk to them, don't work, just stay quiet and wait for them. If they cannot pay, then come back home. So my boss came back from work. He was upset. He came to my room shouting. He was like, why don't you want to work? I'm like, why don't you want to pay my money? He was like, oh, are you trying to challenge me in my own house? I'm like, I'm here for the money. I'm working for the money. So if you don't want to pay me the money, then I'm not going to work either. I know it's your house. You have all the right and everything, but I'm here for the money. If I don't get the money, then you don't expect me to work. He was like, I'm going to hit you. I'm like, okay, I'm here, hit me, go on and hit me. And he started kicking me on the leg. Like, he started kicking me, trying to threaten me, like he was going to shoot me with a gun, like he was trying to scare me. So he was like, I'm nothing, I'm an African slave, and he can use his gun on me, and me, my country and my embassy, we have nothing to do with him. Like, we can't measure up, you know. Like, he can do whatever he wants to do with me, and I will have nothing. My family, my country, my embassy can do nothing to him. I was like, okay, but as a matter of fact, I'm not going to work. And I told him that God knows I worked so hard for the money. I never thought anything bad about their family. I was working with a clean heart, and God knows I deserve the money. If he doesn't want to give me the money, God is going to judge him. He was like, which God are you talking of? You are black and you are a slave. Like, you are an African, you are a slave. I don't know the God you are talking of, because God was white with blue eyes. God knows people like me with white skin, not blacks like you. I was like, how can somebody possibly say this? I've been in this man's house for a year, working like a slave, serving them, and just listening to what he said to me, that I don't deserve to pray because God is white, God is not black like me, so he doesn't understand why I even pray, because God is not for people like me. I was like, wow, wow. Like, that was the meanest thing I've ever heard in my life. So at that moment, I was like, I was not going to work for them no matter what. Even if I was giving the money, I wasn't going to work for them. So I stayed in my room for 2-3 days, no food, nothing, waiting for my flight ticket. And finally, I don't know what the agency over there in Lebanon did with the Cameroon embassy, because I laid a complaint, so they got me a ticket. And mind you, they did not pay my 6-month salary, and I went to Cameroon with nothing. So it was a very painful experience for me, and I'll be advising every young man, every young woman out there, like, when you are moving to the Middle East, be very careful. You should know of what you are going to do, because first, when I was leaving from Cameroon, I did not even know that was what I was going to do. Like, you know, they kept sugarcoating everything, telling me it was going to be fun. Like, you know, traveling abroad should be one of the best things. So that's what they kept telling me. I never knew it was going to be this bad. So please, before you travel to any country, make sure you know what you are going to do. There should be somebody over there telling you how it is. You should be sure, because if you are not sure, then you will get into the shock of your life. Like, traveling out isn't bad, but just be careful where you are going to, because so back then I used to have this book with me, and I would write every single thing I was going through. You guys can see the pages are falling off already because it's really old. I was writing everything in this book, everything I went through. I used to write it down. Like, I'm so happy I did. I'm going to show you guys some of the notes to actually prove to you guys that I'm telling the truth. I'm not making this up. Like, I actually went through this. Okay, it was not a good experience, but anyways, I'm so happy I came out a better person, and I'm stronger. I will not advise anybody to go over there because of money or whatever. So if you are traveling abroad, make sure you know where you're going to, make sure you know what you are going to do, because you are going to get the shock of your life. You know, we keep getting the names of these countries and we think they are very important countries. They are not. So at times you are better off in your country than all these dirty countries. So make sure you know every single detail about anywhere you're going to before you leave, because you might end up in the same pot of soup like me. So at this point, I'll have to end the video. Please like, comment and share. What are your thoughts? And thank you very much for watching, and I will have to say bye bye until next time. Bye.